right, here we go, fully loaded. That means that you have all equipment needed to do this workout as prescribed. And you'll kind of see as the week goes on what all of that entails, but today it's a barbell. So fully loaded, we have deadlifts and back squats. I had to think about that for a second. All right, so here's the thing. Ideally, you would want 2 barbells for this one. All right, so they are set at different weights. And so what I want you to do, if you don't have 2 barbells, is to decide which one you want to concentrate for your heavy lift. So that could be your back squat. It's prescribed today at 155 for the ladies and 225 for the guys. All right, so emphasis on we want you to go heavy today, right? So
and so if you can go heavier than 225, like if you have a heavy back squat, like you typically squat over 365 comfortably, so like if you could do 365 for reps of 5, then obviously go up. Don't just do 225, squat a little heavier.
And what we're doing today is that every round you're gonna have 10 minutes, and every round you're gonna add another rep. And you're gonna add another rep. So you're gonna start with 1 back squat, 1 deadlift, and then going to 2 and 2. So that being said, if you decided, hey, I want to keep my barbell for my back squats and I wanna take it from the rack, then we're gonna go dumbbells for the deadlift, all right? So it's gonna change the stimulus a little bit, obviously keeping one of the lifts lighter. I mean, unless you have 100-pound deadlift for each hand, or dumbbell, 100-pound dumbbell for each hand. That's about the only thing that would keep it heavy, right? So that's the only thing. Let's talk about prep. What I want you guys to do is you're gonna kind of safely review the back squat. We're gonna have Coach Mike do that, and then safely review the deadlift. And then what I want you to do is superset them. And I've got it listed on your athlete notes, but you're gonna start empty barbell. You're gonna give me 10 reps in the back squat. You're gonna give me 10 reps in the deadlift, and then you're gonna superset the rest. You're gonna have a couple of sets, I think 2 sets of 5, 3 sets of 3, and then 3 sets of a single on each one. And those last 2 sets of singles should be at your working weight. All right, so Coach Mac, we're gonna start with the back squat.
Sweet. All right, so back squatting. If you have a rack, great, because then you can just go from a rack. If you don't, obviously you're gonna have to go from the ground. But we have a rack, so we're gonna demonstrate going from the rack. So Corey's gonna get in there.
Like you're gonna coach good.
No. All right, so we're not gonna go over, just like when we do a typical class, don't go back and forth between high back bar squatting and low back bar squatting. So some of you, like Harley, you would typically do low back bar squatting, and that's okay. Whatever is your fancy, then you do. Stay within your own comfort zone though. So if you're used to high back bar squatting, today would not be a good day to try and figure out how to low back bar squat, okay? So do whichever one you're comfortable with. Low back.
No, low bar, back squat.
Anyway, it is good. So what you want to do is make sure your grip is not loose. A lot of people will have a tendency to just grab fingertips and not engage their hand grip any more so than just a light grip. So make sure you grab with a death grip. Your hand should be just as tight on the bar as anything, right? And pull it down into the back of your neck and keep that grip super tight. You gotta back up, Maya, because Mama's gonna squash you. Turn, face that way, Maya. There we go. All right. So we're gonna have in-sync duo here. All right, and so you get in your good squat stance. Feet are slightly shoulder width apart, if not a little wider. Toes pointed slightly outward. Knees, as you descend, are gonna track over the toes, front of the toes. All right, hips go back first and descend all the way down and just below parallel, then back up, driving up as you pull the knees back, all the way back down, hips back, down, pull the knees back in and stand it up. Walk it forward and re-rack it. Not super crazy, right? All right, big thing here, if you do have a rack, a lot of people will have a tendency to take like 6 to 10 steps back. Not necessary, especially since we're going heavy. You only need to take like 2 or 3 steps back. Just clear the rack, because whatever distance you walk back, you have to then walk back forward. So you don't need all that extra effort. All right, so let's get a couple more reps in there. Corey's gonna demonstrate again. Just gonna grab a good, nice, tight grip. Get under. Always make sure you face the rack when you do this. Don't face the opposite way. All right, and hips back. Try to hit your kid with your hips, and down, and up, and all the way down, and up. Very nice, and re-rack it. Not super crazy. Awesome. All right, for the deadlift. Again, if you have 2 bars, then have that second bar set up. So we have 2 bars here, so we're just gonna use that other bar. It's a little easier on her grip because it's a female bar. All right.
Ciao, baby.
And so what you're gonna do is start from the ground. Let's put a couple of plates on there.
That's what I was thinking.
Let's get just so that we have the right height.
What'd you get, Brett?
I'm gonna have you step back, baby, so that she can demonstrate. Move that far off the mat. All right. Cool. All right. So deadlifting. When you approach the deadlift, make sure that you walk all the way up to the bar so that your shins are actually touching the bar. And this is where we're gonna start, right? Feet are directly underneath our hips, pointing straight forward. So not like the back squat where you have a shoulder width distance. They should be right underneath your hips. So with a good tight straight leg, you're gonna take a deep breath, pull that belly button all the way back into your spine, suck it in nice and tight, and you're gonna hold that, get nice and tight in the core. Then you're gonna pivot at the waist, go all the way down until you get hands right at knees, then you bend your knees. All right, good tight flat back, chin stays down so that we have a nice straight line from the top of your head to the bottom of your butt. And keep the bar always in contact with your legs. So pull it back in. You should be driving through your heels as you progress up. So we're gonna come up to the knee. As soon as you get to the knee, then you're gonna stand up nice and tall, straight. And reverse order, all the way back down. When you get at the knee, then bend the knee. And back up. When you get to the knee, start extending. And back down. And she's gonna hold the bottom of the rep right here. We wanna make sure that our knees don't drive forward past our arms. So you can see her knees are right in line with her arms. So if you were to drive your knees forward, it would look like this, would not be correct. So if your knees are shooting out past your arms, you're too far forward. Your shins should be perpendicular to the ground. Driving through the heels, standing up, always bar in close contact with the legs. Back down and settle in. Good. Awesome. Anything else?
I think that's it. If you guys have any questions about how you're doing tomorrow, feel free to reach out to a coach. Feel free to message the Matsu CrossFit page and say, hey, can someone look at this for me?
Send us video clips. We'll review them. Or if you have our numbers, you can shoot us a text. Make sure that we're on our video. If you're about to go lift, we can maybe FaceTime as you're doing it and help coach you through it too. That'll work.
Yep. Fully loaded version. Next up, partially loaded version. Bye, guys.